Good morning, everyone. I am Navghat, the member of IIC Vidyas Vidyapeeth. It is truly a pleasure to welcome you all today. Today, we all are gathered here for an event on the topic choosing the right approach quantitative versus qualitative research. Now, I will tell you about some facts. IIC. In the year 2018, the Ministry of Education, through MOES Innovation Cell, launched the Institution's Innovation Council program in collaboration with AICTE for higher educational institutions to systematically foster the culture of innovation and startup ecosystem in education institutions. Primarily, IIC role is to engage large number of faculty, students, and staff in various innovation and entrepreneurship related activities such as ideation, problem solving, proof of concept development, design thinking, IPR, project handling and management at pre-incubation, incubation stage, etc. So that innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem gets established and stabilized in higher education institutions. The IIC model is designed to address the existing challenge in higher education institutions such as less numbers, occasional and unplanned innovation and entrepreneurship. Activities organized in higher education institutions with low involvement of top leadership, lack of coherence and absence of synergy in resource mobilization, deployment and underutilization of creative potential of youths as major barrier for vibrant ecosystem to emerge from higher education institutions. Now, let's some highlights of our university, Lingyas Vidyapeeth. Lingyas Vidyapeeth is a renowned educational institution dedicated to nurturing young minds and empowering them with knowledge, skills and well-being. Established in the year 1998, our institution has a rich history of academic excellence and a commitment to fostering holistic development in students. The journey of Lingyas Vidyapeeth began with a vision to provide quality education and contribute to social advancement by producing leaders, innovators, and responsible citizens. Over the years, we have grown into a comprehensive university offering a wide range of undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral programs across various disciplines. Saying that we focus on students' overall development with creating a balance in providing them with equal opportunities in both academic and non-academic domains would be defeating the entire purpose. So, good thing that to strengthen the pillars of our academic domain, we don't just have a continuously updating curriculum, but also highly qualified and experienced faculty members who firmly believe in knowledge creation and dissemination. Now, I would like to call our eminent guest, Dr. Rajni Kaur. And please, I welcome you.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Rajni Kaur and today I just want to discuss few things or some information or the knowledge based on the qualitative and quantitative research, which is the topic and which is rightly chosen by approaches to research, qualitative and quantitative. So the qualitative researches are those which are based on the qualitative studies of different research papers, journals, case studies and so on. And the quantitative approach is specifically opted by the researchers to deal with the data they have collected for the research purpose. Now, sometimes this question also raised by the student, ma'am, which one is the best one? Qualitative or quantitative? So both are best and both are apt, but it depends what sort of studies you want to pursue. तो आप जिस तरह की एक्टिविटीज को सिलेक्ट, आप जिस तरह की अप्रोचेस को सिलेक्ट करते हैं, वो उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि आप का स्टडी जो है वो किस नेचर का है, वो क्वांटिटेटिव नेचर से रिलेटेड है या क्वालिटेटिव नेचर से रिलेटेड है। सबसे पहले अगर हम बात करें रिसर्च की, तो व्हाट इज एजुकेशनल रिसर्च? सो लेट इट बी व्हाट इज हियर इन द स्लाइड, बट यू टेल मी व्हाट यू नो अबाउट द टर्म रिसर्च। Do you have any idea what is research? Sometimes people used to say like that, re and search. That means search again. But search again sometime with the same phenomena, but in new perspective, with a new geographical location, maybe with the new people those who belongs to the different age group. अभी let's say एक example लेते हैं। मान लीजिए आप कोई study करना चाहते हैं which is specifically meant for elementary level student, and you want to know their adjustment level, you want to know something about their personality, and you have done on elementary level student. But after completing their 8th standard, when they move ahead, when they enter into the secondary and senior secondary classes, so within that 4-5 years, do you think that there is no change in their personality? होगा नहीं होगा? वो 4-5 सालों में they will definitely going to learn new things. They will definitely groom themselves outward also and inward also. तो उस वाले केस में अगर आप वो स्टडी जो एलिमेंट्री लेवल पर हुई है एंड यू वांट टू डू द सेम स्टडी ऑन द सेकेंडरी स्टूडेंट्स, तो क्या उस डेटा में कोई चेंज होगा कि नहीं होगा? होगा. So in that case, educational research is basically meant to conduct researches in the area of education. But yes, research is something when you want to search new things with a new perspective, in a new situation, in a new condition, with a new sample maybe, or with a new geographical location. According to the Whitney, educational research aims at finding out solution to the educational problem. Basically, it belongs to the education area. So, what we want to know that what are the educational problems faced by the students in the college, in the school, or the premise where they are getting the formal education or the informal education. So, there we select the researches, and those comes under the educational area. So, these are known as the educational researches. Now, the meaning of qualitative research. So what is the qualitative research? Basically, the research involving collecting and analyzing non-numerical data. Non-numerical data means text. You might have learned some papers, qualitative papers in journals. You might study the case studies, ethnography, sometimes opinion हो सकते हैं, sometimes experiences हो सकते हैं of an individual. Let's say आप legal aspect में अगर कुछ study कर रहे हैं, तो हो सकता है आप किसी person को interview करें जिसने कोई case अपना fight किया हो. तो ऐसे वाले केस में उसके जो experiences आप सुनेंगे वो is purely qualitative. It can be used to gather in-depth insight into a problem or generate new ideas for research, and as well as it is commonly used in humanities and social sciences. Qualitative kind of researches we conduct in the area of humanities and social sciences, sometimes in psychology as well, which is also comes under the social science. These are further subjects which comes under the humanities and social sciences, like anthropology, sociology, education, health sciences, and history. But it doesn't mean that we are not supposed to conduct quantitative researches in these areas. We do, but these are specifically the area we have chosen for the qualitative researches. Now, common approaches including in qualitative researches. A qualitative research is in a very comprehensive term which comprises so many methods into it. वो methods क्या हो सकते हैं? Like grounded theory है, ethnography है, action research है, phenomenological researches है, narrative researches है. Like ethnography research की हम बात करें, let's say आप scheduled tribes को लेकर कुछ study करना चाहते हैं, तो when you live with those people in their location, in their area, and you study them for a longer period of time, so these studies are sometimes comes under the ethnography or anthropology. Qualitative research seeks to answer questions about why and how people behave in a way. Suppose somebody is behaving in a particular fashion or a particular manner, and you want to know that why. Like being a teacher, like right now, if I'm a teacher in some or other class, or I'm taking some lecture, and in my class there is a child who keep on repeating the same kind of behavior in my class even though I have counseled that child, even though I have discussed about the problem, but child is not ready to disclose this problem. And teacher wants to know that why the child is behaving in a particular manner. So in that case, the teacher has to conduct a study. That study could be of any type, that can be of action research. And in that case, teacher needs to talk to the child, peer mates, the other subject teachers, and sometimes maybe the parents, just to know that what is the main reason behind that behavior which is done by the child in the classroom itself. So that can be the part of it. So qualitative research seeks to answer questions why and how people behave in a way they do, and it provides in-depth information about the human behavior. The aim of qualitative research is to understand the social reality of individuals, groups and cultures. Like अभी मैंने बताया इंडिविजुअल के लिए, अगर किसी एक बच्चे के बारे में आप जानना चाहते हो कि वो क्लास में रेगुलरली वैसा बिहेव क्यों कर रहा है, तो आप किसी के इंडिविजुअल की स्टडी कर रहे हो. जब आप इंडिविजुअल केस लेते हो, दैट कुड बी अ इंडिविजुअल चाइल्ड, दैट कुड बी अ इंडिविजुअल क्लास, एंड दैट कुड बी अ इंडिविजुअल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, बट इट शुड बी वन एंटिटी for that particular problem. So that is the individual. And groups mein to you can have more number of person if they are also having same kind of problem or they are also doing some or other things. So aap uske liye bhi groups le sakte ho. Aur cultures mein we have tribal culture, we have the people who are living in rural areas, people living in urban areas, so they are also possessing a certain kind of a culture. If you want to study that culture, so in that case you can take some sort of studies which based on the qualitative. Primary aim to describe and secondary aim is to analyze the event and things occurring in the natural settings. So the participants or the sample, those who are the part of that study, are selected through a non-random method. Non-random method, basically a method where you can select the people. Like suppose I am coming to any of the class of section and I want to conduct a study. So I just ask 10 students, come with me for this purpose. So this is a kind of a non-random. But yes, what is random? If I particularly want to select few specific persons by employing a certain method, so that comes under the random. Like if I ask all the students, those who are possessing even number roll numbers, come with me, that is the random. But they are non-random, the first 5 students come with me, first 10 students sitting here come with me, that is a non-random. Primary aim is to, the participant samples are selected through non-random method, and qualitative research is based on the inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning means when you already have some assumptions and you want to prove those assumptions, want to find out something out of those assumptions. So that is the inductive reasoning. What is the need of qualitative research? First is qualitative research is useful in order to gain an understanding of the underlying opinion, motivations and reasons. So ये आप इसके through पता कर सकते हो. दूसरा, it gives insight into the problem. When you think about the problem and you want to solve that problem, so this qualitative approach helps you to develop your insight about that. So how you can go ahead with that problem to get the solution of that problem. Now, what are the drawbacks of the qualitative research? If you want to select this research, so everything has some limitation with it, which you can, sometimes quantitative method allow you to do something, but qualitative not, and sometimes qualitative allow you to do something, but quantitative not. So it depends that what are the drawbacks. So these drawbacks are somehow related to their limitations. First is, if respondents do not see the value for them in the research, they may provide inaccurate or false information. Suppose you are interviewing a person and you are asking some questions. The person are providing you the information in an open-ended manner. So when they are providing you information, might be they won't provide you the correct information. That may be false. आप उनसे कोई ऐसी चीज पूछ रहे हैं जो उनका पर्सनल है, जिसे वो हाइड रखना चाहते हैं, वो नहीं बताना चाहते हैं, तो वो आपको गलत बोलेंगे. So this could be one of the drawbacks. In the qualitative method, you won't get the correct information many times. Although ethics are an issue for any type of research, so there may be particular difficulties with qualitative researchers because the researcher may be the party to confidential information. Maybe they allow you to give some information about them, but not the complete information. And if you are not getting the complete information, in that case also, you won't be able to solve that problem properly. It is generally harder for qualitative researchers to remain apart from their work. Remain apart from their work means their own opinion comes into it. अगर मैं इंटरव्यू कर रही हूँ किसी का और मैं उनसे कुछ जानना चाहती हूँ, तो उस चीज को इंटरप्रेट करते टाइम, उस चीज को डॉक्यूमेंट करते टाइम मेरा अपना ओपिनियन इसके बारे में आ सकता है. अगर हम एक लीगल एस्पेक्ट में देखें और मैं ये कहूँ कि लिविंग टुगेदर का कॉन्सेप्ट इज नाउअडेज वेरी पॉपुलर इन द मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज एंड द पीपल आर आल्सो गोइंग इनटू द सेम रिलेशनशिप. So if I'm interviewing some personalities, those who are already been into the process or maybe they are in a live-in relationship, so they are taking it very positively. So they are saying about the live-in relationship in a positive manner. But if I am not having a positive mindset about this relationship and I look at this relationship in a very bad manner, because society ने जो मुझे मेरे अपब्रिंगिंग से दिया, मुझे लगता है कि live-in relationship is not a good thing. तो जब मैं किसी का इंटरव्यू करूंगी और वो जो मुझे आंसर देगा, जब उस आंसर को मैं अपने काम में इंटरप्रेट करूंगी, तो समटाइम जो मेरी ओपिनियन उसके बारे में है, क्योंकि मुझे लाइक नहीं करती, तो लिखते टाइम शायद वो चीज आएगी. और अगर मेरी ओपिनियन वहां पर आएगी तो फिर मेरी रिसर्च बायस्ड हो जाएगी. तो ये एक इसका बहुत बड़ा ड्रॉबैक है. Now the sources of qualitative data. When you want to conduct any qualitative research, so in that case you need to collect the data. In the very beginning, I have already mentioned that how you go with the problem, what sort of approaches you are going to adopt. So I have already told you that there are some sources from which you collect the data. So the sources are interviews. The very first, you can conduct interviews of the personalities, and you know that on the regular basis you may find the interviews of the personalities in newspaper even though. The reporters conduct maybe the heroines in the movies, or maybe the directors, maybe the serial persons. They conduct interview and they present their views over there. So it is also one of the source we collect the data. Then focus group means specifically those belongs to that area. You select that group. अभी मूवी के बारे में आपको बात करनी है, तो it's not necessary कि आप फीमेल से बात कर रहे हो, मेल से बात कर रहे हो, पढ़े लिखे से बात कर रहे हो या अनपढ़ से बात कर रहे हो, कोई भी हो सकता है ना. बट फोकस ग्रुप जब होगा तो स्पेसिफिकली बिलोंग्स टू दैट एरिया. देन यू हैव पोस्टकार्ड्स और स्मॉल स्केल रिटन क्वेश्चनर्स दैट सीक्स answers to questions of participants. I mean, you can prepare a questionnaire and or the postcard where you write some questions and you can share those cards with the people from where you want to collect the data, and they can write the information over there. Then you can have secondary data, including diaries. You might have found the diaries of the people which is already written by them, and they may be kept in the libraries or somewhere. And you can have written account of past events, like you have autobiographies of the persons or the biographies of the persons. Then you have company reports. When company comes under the process of audit, they have the reports, and these reports are sometimes published on the like sites also. अगर हम गवर्नमेंट की बात करें तो गवर्नमेंट में जो हमारा जनगणना होती है उसका डाटा अवेलेबल होता है, सेंसस का डाटा. ऐसे बहुत सारे डेटाज हैं जो गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में कलेक्ट किए जाते हैं और वो पब्लिकली सबको रेडिली अवेलेबल होते हैं पढ़ने के लिए. Then observation. You may do the observation in both ways, participatory and non-participatory. Participatory observation is the observation where you being a part of that group and you are observing them and people know that you are observing them. That is the participatory. And non-participatory when you are not the part of that group and you are observing someone but they do not know that you are observing them. Because it is the advantage of this method that if the people do not know that you are observing them, so they play the real self of them. अगर किसी को ये पता लग जाए कि कोई हमें देख रहा है तो हम कोई भी ऐसी बदमाशी या कोई हरकत करेंगे जो हमें लगेगी कोई हमें देखेगा तो हमारे बारे में कुछ सोचेगा, हम कोई नॉटी हरकत नहीं करेंगे. क्लास में कितनी बार होता है बॉयज या गर्ल्स एक दूसरे के लिए स्लैंग लैंग्वेजेस यूज करते हैं, बट नॉट इन फ्रंट ऑफ टीचर. अगर बच्चों को ये पता लगे कि टीचर हमें ऑब्जर्व कर रहा है, विल दे यूज दैट? No. So non-participatory observation gives you more accurate data and more natural data instead of the participatory observation. Now, the types of qualitative research, so I'm not going very deep into the various approaches of qualitative researches, but I'm going to move to the quantitative one now. So the quantitative researches. So quantitative research is explaining phenomena by collecting numerical data. जैसा कि मैंने पहले भी बोला था बिगनिंग में, अगर मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि मेरी जो क्लास के स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनका एप्टीट्यूड क्या है टुवर्ड्स ऑनलाइन टीचिंग, तो मैं एक ऐसा सैंपल कलेक्ट करती हूँ जिसमें बच्चों ने ऑनलाइन भी पढ़ा और ऑफलाइन भी पढ़ा। 2022 में जब कोरोना आया उसके पहले आप लोगों की स्कूल एजुकेशन फिजिकल मोड में थी और कोरोना के टाइम में आप लोगों की स्कूल एजुकेशन ऑनलाइन मोड में थी। नाउ आई वांट टू नो दैट व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ एटीट्यूड यू आर हैविंग टुवर्ड्स द टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस in online mode and in offline mode. And my sample is the college going students, because they have already encountered with the physical part also and as well as the online part. So now if I want to collect the data from you people by preparing a questionnaire or by any of the method, and you are filling that form and you are using some numbers to provide that data, so that data is in the quantitative form, and after collecting the data, if I am analyzing it, so I got the information about your aptitude towards online and offline. So the data produced are always numerical and they are analyzed using mathematical and statistical methods. आप लोगों ने mean, median, mode सब पढ़ा है ना? This all is a part of statistical, but it is a very basic kind of thing, just to have an introduction about it. But yes, there are so many statistical techniques that you can apply for the quantitative researches. It tries to seek a quantitative description of the things observed in the natural setting or otherwise being manipulated by the researcher in his study. So let apart this thing, but I just want to take an example from your normal surroundings. Can you give me any example where you are giving numerical kind of providing data or the information in the numerical form? Any example? And you all are like very much aware of it. मैं आपको एक मूवी का एग्जांपल देती हूँ. I'll give you example. करीना कपूर. The name is Pooh in the movie. कौन सी है बताओ? कभी खुशी कभी गम. When she wants to go for a prom night, she was giving a number to the people. She was giving the number to whom? To whom she was giving the numbers? Boys. On basis of what ground she was giving the number? Out of 10. So if you say 3, does it mean something 3? It's a only count. But when you are giving that 3 or any kind of a rating in a 3, 4, 5 form out of 10, when it belongs to a certain parameter. When you are judging a person on the basis of 3, 4 or 5, on the basis of their outer appearance, their personality. So you are giving that number, but that number doesn't reveal you anything. That number 3 can be a count for a commodity. आप मान लो कोई 3 पेंसिल लेते हो. If it is 3, so you are giving that number to pencil. But when you are saying about a person, that you are rating that person by giving a number 3 and 4. So what is that? It is not a number. That you are describing the personality of an individual and you are considering it very low. So that is the kind of thing. So when you have a number, so these numbers are further analyzed by the researcher, but the numbers are statistically dealt by the scholars. The quantitative methods include descriptive researches, evaluative researches, and assessment researches. Assessment, like you are appearing for the examination and you are getting your scorecard. What is that? It is the assessment. Assessment of what? Assessment of your knowledge that you have learned. Okay? Then it aims at establishing cause and effect relationship. Something happened. But what is the cause behind? That is the cause and effect relationship. बाढ़ आई या कोरोना आया, and what happens to the people? So what is the cause of that behavior? That corona. Why the people is behaving that manner? They are now using so many precautions while moving into the groups. They are wearing masks. They are using something. So what is the cause of doing all these things? That corona. So this is the cause and effect relationship when something had happened. But why it happened? So there's some cause behind it which affect the behavior of the people. That is cause and effect relationship. Then the research is also known as empirical research, as can be accurately and precisely measured. When you use mathematical numbers, when you use statistical techniques, so you got some result in terms of numbers, or the number, even though that result is again in the decimal form, that means you are getting result in a very precise manner. So it is the empirical, because you get the results in a very accurate or the precise manner. The data collected by the researchers can be divided into the categories or put into ranks, or it can be measured in terms of units of measurement. There are so many units of measurement, so it is measured accordingly. Like if you are even talking about कि हम लोग कोई चीज सुन रहे हैं, तो हमारी सुनने की कैपेसिटी क्या है, उसको भी हम डेसिबल में मेजर करते हैं. That is a measurable quantity which gives you accurate measurement of something. Samples are collected through random methods. Yes, here you are using random sampling technique. And why the random sampling technique? Because that technique ensures that whatever the data you have, whatever the sample you have chosen for the research purpose, every person in that group are getting the equal probability of being the part of that research. मतलब ऐसा नहीं होगा, बायस नहीं होगा ना, मैं इसको ले लूँ, मैं इसको ले लूँ. पर जब आपने रैंडमली सिलेक्ट किया तो वो कोई नहीं हो सकता है. तो आपके सैंपल में से हर एक व्यक्ति के पास वो पूरी प्रोबेबिलिटी है कि उसे उस स्टडी का पार्ट बनने का मौका मिले. तो हम वहां पर सब्जेक्टिविटी को खत्म करना चाहते हैं, इसलिए वी आर यूजिंग रैंडम सैम्पलिंग मेथड्स. एंड इट इज बेस्ड ऑन डिडक्टिव रीजनिंग, बिकॉज you are already know something, but you want to prove it with the help of various support or various numerical assessments, or with the various other methods that you are opted for. It is both structured and statistical. Why it is structured? Because you always create a research design for your research. When you have a design, you go along with it. Like आप अपना घर बनाते हो, आप घर बनाने से पहले क्या करवाते हो? उसका कोई नक्शा बनवाते हो, ब्लूप्रिंट बनवाते हो ना. When you have a blueprint with you, so every person knows that how to go with that blueprint. घर बनना है तो कहाँ पे क्या बनना है, कहाँ पे वायरिंग कैसे होनी है, कहाँ पे पानी का सारा सिस्टम जो है वो कैसे बनेगा, because you are having a structure with you. Then you go with that. So in such type of researches also you have some structure of that research, and you move according to that structure. Quantitative research provides you the ability to draw conclusion. How to draw conclusion? On the basis of that quantitative data you have acquired, and when you apply the quantitative researches, there are certain standardized tools even though that tells you about that number, that if you have got that number, you can compare that value with the table value, and you can know that this number means this to me or to all the people, those who are using that research maybe for later purpose. The goals of qualitative researches are to test causal relationship between variables. Causal relationship means the cause and effect relationship. Quantitative researches aims to establish general laws of behavior and phenomenon across different settings or contexts. That means the main purpose is to draw some laws out of it. जैसे आप लोग पढ़ते हो बहुत सारे न्यूटन्स का लॉ पढ़ते हो, मैंडल्स का लॉ पढ़ा होगा जो हमारी हेरिडिटी के बारे में बात करता है. ये लॉज कैसे निकल के आए, कैसे इसको सारे लोगों के ऊपर जनरलाइज कर दिया गया? Because this study is conducted on a huge sample, and after getting the research of that sample, we generalize that those phenomena, and it becomes later a law. फिर चाहे वो डार्विन का लॉ हो, आपने पढ़ा है सर्वाइवल फॉर द फिटेस्ट? डार्विन का लॉ पढ़ा है? नहीं पढ़ा. अच्छा, आप हमारी आइज का, अगर मदर की आइज का कलर ब्लू है और फादर की आइज का कलर ब्लैक है और बच्चे की आइज का कलर ब्लू है, इसके पीछे क्या साइंस वर्क करती है? जीन्स. वो जीन्स क्या बताते हैं, वो कहां से निकल के आए, वो लॉ कैसे एप्लीकेबल हो गया? There is a study again on a sample, again on a people, which tells that there are the genes who are responsible for different colors of the eyes, but the color which is observed in a child might be that gene is received from the mother, and that gene is the dominant, so it shows their character. But again, it is a law that comes after a rigorous study on a sample. What is the need of quantitative research? Why we want to conduct this quantitative research? When we want to get precise or more accurate information, we want to use quantitative researches. When we want to conduct some empirical sort of data and to prove something on the empirical basis, that also we collect that. So when we, with the help of the quantitative research, you can develop ideas and the hypothesis, You can even use this to test a theory and ultimate support or to reject it. सपोर्ट और रिजेक्टेड का मतलब कि अगर आप कोई स्टडी करते हो और आपने एज्यूम किया है कि ये दो चीजें हैं और इन दोनों चीजों का आपस में कोई रिलेशनशिप नहीं है, और जब आपने स्टडी की तो पता लगा रिलेशनशिप निकल के आया, वो दोनों एक दूसरे को इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहे थे, तो आपने जो एज्यूम किया था कि इनका कोई रिलेशनशिप नहीं है, वो थ्योरी क्या हो गई, रिजेक्ट हो गई, और क्या एक्सेप्ट हुई, रिसर्च जो आपने किया उसमें जो निकल के आया. सो द सच टाइप ऑफ रिसर्चेस आर आल्सो नीड क्वांटिटेटिव रिसर्च. सोर्सेज, डाटा कहाँ से कलेक्ट करोगे, सर्वे के थ्रू, ऑब्जर्वेशंस के थ्रू. सेकेंडरी डाटा में बहुत सारे सोर्सेज होते हैं, कंपनी अकाउंट डेटा फ्रॉम साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट. देयर आर सो मेनी साइकोलॉजिकल स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड टूल्स दैट यू कैन ऑप्ट और यू कैन टेक. जैसे मान लीजिए अगर हम बच्चों का एडजस्टमेंट लेवल जानना चाहते हैं, और एडजस्टमेंट में भी हमारे डायमेंशंस हैं कि हमें देखना है बच्चे का होम एडजस्टमेंट कैसा है, स्कूल एडजस्टमेंट कैसा है, सोशल एडजस्टमेंट कैसा है, तो उसके लिए हम कोई साइकोलॉजिकल स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड टूल ले सकते हैं, जैसे आरपीसी और एकेपीसी ना की एडजस्टमेंट इन्वेंटरी है. दैट कैन बी यूज्ड बाय द रिसर्चर्स टू कलेक्ट the data about the adjustment of the child. What are the key features of quantitative research? What are the key features of quantitative research? The very first is try to control extraneous variable by conducting their studies in lab. जब आप लैब में कोई चीज कंडक्ट करते हो तो वो ऐसे फैक्टर जो आपके स्टडी को इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं, आप उन्हें कंट्रोल करते हो. आप उन फैक्टर्स को अपने एग्जिस्टिंग स्टडी पर इफेक्ट डालने से रोकते हो. These are the extraneous variable. ऐसे समझ सकते हो जैसे आप लोग किसी क्लास में बैठ के पढ़ रहे हो तो आपकी लर्निंग जो है वो इस बात से हैम्पर करेगी अगर बाहर नॉइज हो. तो नॉइज इज द एक्सट्रेनियस फैक्टर, एंड इफ आई कैन कंट्रोल दैट नॉइज योर लर्निंग मे बी गुड. तो दिस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द feature that why we want to conduct these studies. The research aims for the objectivity and is separated from the data. Objectivity means you are not having your own ideas or your own thoughts into it. जैसे हमने पहले वाले में बात की थी कि जब मैं कोई स्टडी कर रही हूँ और मेरी ओपिनियन उसमें शामिल हो जाए तो वो स्टडी क्या हो गई, बायस्ड हो गई. पर ये वो स्टडी है जो बायस्ड नहीं होती क्योंकि ये नंबर्स पर बेस्ड है, और लेटर ऑन हम क्या कर रहे हैं, नंबर्स का ही नंबर्स से जो हमें डेटा मिला उसको हम एनालाइज कर रहे हैं इन क्वालिटेटिव पार्ट. The design of the study is determined before it begins. क्योंकि हम रिसर्च डिजाइन पहले ही बना लेते हैं, जैसे घर बनाने से पहले नक्शा बना लेते हैं. For the quantitative researchers, the reality is objective, exists separately from the researcher and can be seen by anyone. कहने का मतलब है, if I want to conduct any study और मैंने वो स्टडी कर लिया, तो जो quantitative researches होंगी, वो स्टडी अगर मैंने की है और उसका कोई रिजल्ट निकल के आया है, वही स्टडी अगर आप करोगे तो भी रिजल्ट सेम ही आएगा. तब हम ये कह सकते हैं कि वो स्टडी ऑब्जेक्टिविटी से मतलब वो स्टडी कंप्लीटली ऑब्जेक्टिव है और सब्जेक्टिविटी से फ्री है. क्योंकि अगर मैं ये कहती हूँ 2 + 2 4 है, तो क्या वो सिर्फ मेरे लिए 4 है, वो सबके लिए 4 है. तो अगर मैंने कोई स्टडी की और मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ 8th क्लास के स्टूडेंट्स की पर्सनैलिटी किस तरह की है दिल्ली रीजन में, तो अगर कोई दूसरा व्यक्ति भी इसी स्टडी को कंडक्ट करे दिल्ली रीजन में तो उसके पास भी पर्सनैलिटी को लेकर वही डेटा आना चाहिए जो मेरे पास आया था. तब मैं कह सकती हूँ कि मेरी स्टडी ऑब्जेक्टिव है, और वो क्वांटिटेटिव रिसर्च से पॉसिबल है. It is used to test a theory and ultimate support or reject. आप कोई भी थ्योरी लेकर चलते हो या प्रॉब्लम लेकर चलते हो, उसको आप क्वांटिटेटिव मेथड से टेस्ट करते हो और लेटर आप बताते हो कि वो रिजेक्ट हुई या सिलेक्ट हुई. On the basis of that, you generalize the phenomena or may formulate some laws or principles. Now this is the comparison. Now before doing the comparison, I'll tell you both the research approaches are equally important, but yes, it depends what sort of study I have chosen for my own purpose, for my research purpose, and accordingly I'll select the approach. So the qualitative and quantitative, so meaning पर तो मैं नहीं जाऊंगी because we have already discussed a lot, but yes, nature. Qualitative research is the holistic in nature, comprises all the aspects related to that particular phenomena, and it is particularist. That means you are choosing a specific problem and you are dealing with that. Approach, this is subjective, आपका अपना ओपिनियन यहाँ मैटर करता है, और दिस इज ऑब्जेक्टिव बिकॉज आपका ओपिनियन यहाँ इंक्लूड नहीं होता. रीजनिंग, when you move for the qualitative researches, you start with the inductive reasoning, and here you start with the deductive reasoning. Sampling, qualitative research में you want to solve your purpose, so you are applying purposes sampling and some more also there. And quantitative researches में you are using random sampling, and in random sampling also there are various random sampling types. Data यहाँ verbal है, जैसे आपने इंटरव्यू किया या आपने कोई रिटन क्वेश्चनर भरने के लिए दिया, it's all verbal. Verbal means not oral. Verbal means written or oral both. And it is measurable because it is quantified. And inquiry, you are using process oriented and the result oriented in the quantitative. Hypothesis, it is generated through the research, but these are tested because you have already framed them. These are some more, tells you about the quantitative and qualitative researches. These are the examples of some examples of quantitative and qualitative researches. In the beginning, I have told you some examples. Focus group hai, interview hai, kya hai. So these are the examples of that. Now these are further the quantitative and the qualitative research in depth, and that might be discussed in some or other sessions. Thank you so much.
Photos, right?
So I stand here filled with gratitude as we come to the conclusion of this event. First and foremost, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed guests and to our audience. Thank you for being such an attentive and enthusiastic group. Thank you so much. Now I will call to Ms. Swechha ma'am for the vote of thanks.
कोई बात नहीं, मैं दोबारा
Good afternoon all. Thank you for making today's workshop on choosing the right approach, quantitative versus qualitative research. Our heartfelt thanks to go to our speaker, Dr. Rajni Gaur ma'am, for their insightful presentation and sharing their expertise. Your contribution have greatly enhanced our understanding. Thanks also to organizing team for your hard work and to all participants for your engagement. Safe travel, and we look forward to seeing you at your future events. Thank you so much.